Well, joining me now is the Australian newspaper's Washington correspondent, Adam Creighton. Adam, big news out of Georgia this week. The judge in Donald Trump's election interference trial has dismissed 3 of the criminal counts against the former U.S. president. Tell us what these charges were about, and is there a chance more charges in this case are going to fall by the wayside?
Well, just on the first question, I think it was a surprise that some of these somewhat obscure and vague charges were dropped. This, of course, is the racketeering case, the case largely against Donald Trump, and of course, I think some 18 so-called co-conspirators who allegedly tried to get the Georgia government to overturn the vote in 2020 in that state. Many legal analysts, of course, have different views, but I think the objectively fair view that this is a rather trumped-up case, if you like, and it's basically trying to get Trump. It was a shock that some of the charges were dropped. I'm starting to think that maybe the judge, Scott McAfee, who made this decision, I think he may have done this perhaps to butter up the Trump side of the equation, because of course in coming days, as we know, he's got to make the much more important decision on whether to dump Fani Willis, who is the district prosecutor for that case. And it may well be that if he does dump her, which I think is unlikely, but if he does, the whole case may fall apart. All of the charges would be dropped then, because it may well be that no other district attorney in the state of Georgia wants to take up what is, of course, an extremely controversial case.
Yeah, and this is the issue with Fani Willis and the prosecutor who was also her secret boyfriend that she was paying state money to run the case. And it all, this creates a big sort of idea that there's a lot of political interference in this, as there is in New York, where the Manhattan District Attorney's Office has now said that they're willing to delay Trump's hush money trial for another 30 days, according to a court filing. Now, this hush money case that was scheduled to start on March 25th. Pushing this back, does this have implications for the November election?
Well, look, it probably does, in the sense that, you have to laugh a bit. In the space of 3 months, it seems most of the serious cases against Donald Trump, and of course there's the 4 indictments, and the hush money case is one of those indictments, but they're all being pushed, constantly being pushed into the future. It seems more and more likely that most of them are going to be after the 2024 election. This one, of course, won't be, but it's just amusing that even that, which of course was meant to be set in stone, for the 25th of March, is even going to be pushed forward by 30 days. And of course, it's worth pointing out too that particular case, which is the only one of the 4 that is scheduled so far, is the case that I would say is the most politically helpful to Donald Trump of all. That was the first indictment, I believe, that was issued last year, and of course, after it was issued, his polling soared. He's probably not too, so he'd be pleased with the delay, of course. But if any of the 4 cases gets to go ahead, I think he'd want it to be this one.